Yeah, you know what time it is. Valhalla hour, let's go! Kick back, put on your headphones tight. Rob and Matt, bringing fire every night. From the land of 10,000 lakes, we rule the scene. With a crew so fresh, keeping it raw and clean. Minnesota Vikings, kings of the north. We wear our purple heart and let the battle roar forth. Breaking down the game, dissecting the plays. With passion so fierce, we'll set the night ablaze. So give us a follow, hit that like. Share it with your crew, you know we're about to strike. Valhalla, our podcast, living life bold, where legends are made and stories are told.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your regularly scheduled episode of Valhalla Hour post-draft edition. How are we? With me, as always, Jonathan Winkleman, Eric McLeod, and joining us is Mr. Lindahl. How are we?
Good.
Feeling great.
So we have an update, and this is closure to the Kyrie Jackson case. This was posted in February. The driver, Corey Klingman, pled guilty and is sentenced to 15 years in prison with all but 3 suspended.
Damn.
So she's, 3 years in prison. And the other 12 are pretty much probation / house arrest. That's fucked up.
That reminds me of when Malik Sealy got killed, that guy. I think he got something similar like that too, if I remember right.
That is crazy.
We are going to talk about the draft class. And, I'm thinking let's start off with the underdogs. And we're going to start off with the undrafted players. The players that maybe could be the next Adam Thielen. So we got Marcus Allen, cornerback out of North Carolina. Devon Armstead, cornerback, North Texas. Dylan Bell, out of a wide receiver out of Georgia. Jordan Bothello, outside linebacker from Notre Dame. Tyler Chappell, cornerback, Texas A&M. Monkel Goodwine, I'm probably butchering the hell out of it, defensive line from South Carolina. Shalik Knotts, wide receiver, Maryland. Kelly Lawson, linebacker out of UCF, right near Orlando. Tristan Lee, outside line or offensive line out of Clemson. Delby Lemieux, offensive line, Dartmouth. Kajon Owens, running back out of FIU. Thomas Rimac, offensive line from VT. Marcus Sanders Jr., wide receiver, Georgia Southern. Cameron Stewart, outside linebacker from Temple. Jacob Thomas, safety, James Madison. Brett Thorson, a punter from Georgia, and he actually is from Melbourne, Australia, so he knows how to play some footy and some rugby. Arden Walker,
I like that punter.
Yeah, outside linebacker from Colorado. My favorite undrafted player, Scooby Williams, linebacker out of Texas A&M. Luke Weissong, wide receiver out of Arizona. That's it.
The Lee guy is also someone who is highly projected to be good.
I think we did hit pretty well on some of these undrafteds.
We always hit well. The punter is going to be a surprise because we signed a punter in Hecker too. So I'm going to be interested in the punter battle here.
I do. We're not going to carry 2 punters.
Well,
I know, but it's going to be a good battle.
The punter from Georgia would be on the International Players Program, so he wouldn't count as a roster spot on the practice squad at all. But he was the Ray Guy Award winner for best punter in college football last year too, so it should be interesting.
And
Yes.
Hector's coming off a bad season in Tennessee.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say Hecker is a nice punter.
Did anybody have a good season in Tennessee?
No.
Yeah, that's where careers go to die.
Half their defense were all former Vikings.
We did also sign defensive line Eric Johnson II. We also waived because of a non-football injury Jalen Hutchings.
Yeah, I don't even remember who that is.
Someone from I think UFL or CFL, one of the two.
Yeah. Oh, and the CFL just had their draft. The first guy drafted to the CFL was from the Big Ten. So
Nice.
we are going to go over our draft picks. I did find this graphic, and this is actually, let me take off the banner so we can all see this together. The relative athletic score. Caleb Banks probably is someone that we weren't expecting to come to us. I did have him on the board. He's got a very good athletic score, but Jake Golday, the most athletic player in this draft, in our draft class. Some of these I'm very surprised about that we had picked up. Jonathan, you and I were saying that Orange was a steal, correct?
Yep. His size, the fact that he's a nose tackle, like we got 2 nose tackles. Like this could be the Williams wall.
Well, Banks is also highly athletic too. I think they're viewing him more than a nose tackle, where he could be a pass rusher from the middle, and he could slide
Yeah.
out on one of those.
Like you could
end
put him on the
spots.
end in our
Yep.
defense, and put, like I said, the Williams wall. It reminds me a lot of that. Only difference is we play 3-4, a hybrid now instead of 4-3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then our defensive end that we had last season, that we drafted last season, the guy who we play on the edge, you know what I'm on the end on the line. I think that our defensive line is set now.
Oh shit, we got a Colin sighting.
As long as Banks stays healthy, I think that is a big thing. And you know, I don't want to be the party pooper or whatever, but 330 pounds on a foot that's been injured several times makes me nervous. But I keep my fingers crossed. You know, I mean, that's a lot of weight on a foot, and you use your foot for everything you do. Considering he said he broke his foot the last time because the spikes he wore training for the combine weren't right. And I'm like, oh shit. Like just getting down in that sprinter position, you know, he broke his foot. I'm like, man, it makes me nervous. But with his potential to play nose and then slide outside on passing downs, you know, I think I read somewhere he played quarterback in high school. You imagine that guy playing a quarterback position? Jesus.
Yeah. Could you imagine taking him down? It's kind of like Dante Culpepper.
Bigger.
Only bigger.
But if you look at the RAS scores too, if you take Jake Galdays and put it next to Van Ginkel's, they're almost identical, which makes me really, really excited.
It makes me excited too. I just don't think, like, what are we going to do at linebacker this season? Like, now, what are we doing with Pace? We just signed him to a 1-year deal. We just signed Wilson to a 3-year deal. I mean, Cashman or Cushman, whatever, Blake Cushman or Cashman. I forget if it's what how you pronounce it.
Cash money,
like
like Randy would say.
Like, what are we doing at linebacker? Like, what? I get we need to take this guy because of who he is, right? Or because of of how athletic he is and whatnot. But still, I mean,
I think he's one of these
I
guys
love
you
the
can
Goldman
slide
pick.
outside.
Oh, it's Luca.
Colin, was that you that said you love that pick?
I love the Goldman pick, but the biggest pick to me was Orange.
Yeah.
I love the orange pick.
That was the pick of the draft for the Vikings, in my opinion. Between him and a UDFA signing of Brett Thorson, the punter from Georgia, those are the two best moves that they made, in my opinion.
Yeah, here's a second reason why I like the orange pick. He's a safety net. You know, if Banks isn't ready to go in the beginning, we have Orange there ready to go. Or should we just start keep calling him Big Citrus because that's his nickname?
And we also have Taki Tamani too. Remember that.
Yep.
I mean, the depth and the young depth on the D line now is real. Like, I watched the tape on Citrus, and I'm like, he was putting like two dudes down at the same time. Like, I don't know how he was ranked so low, other than him being a little bit shorter. I don't know how that guy wasn't a first round pick, considering some of the tape he put out there. Like, he's just massive.
And some of it may have to do with the college too. I think, some people, Iowa State isn't a powerhouse, so you kind of, and I hate to say it, just kind of let it slip.
Montgomery came from Iowa State.
What's that?
I think that's more reason why he should have been ranked higher, because the defenses or the offenses had to be more predicated on stopping him, and he was still going through it. Like, I love it. Like, I'll do a comparison with Jared versus Dallas Turner. Like, when Verse was at Florida State, him and Fisk were the only defensive weapons that Florida State had, and offenses had to play their offense based off of stopping them. Like, the teams that were in the Big 12 or wherever Iowa State's in now, they had to predicate their offenses on slowing that guy down, and he wasn't getting slowed down. You had to double team him every play. So that's why I really love the tape on him.
I actually agree. Like, Orange, I already said this. Orange is my favorite pick outside of Banks, but Banks needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, Banks. I mean, Banks has the potential. He has the potential, and I see Gorecki on there. So we've seen him play at Florida, so we know what we're getting. I mean, in spurts, he's impressive. I mean, he's a top 10 pick if he's not hurt a lot. Like, he legit is. My biggest thing
needs to learn to finish, though. That's my one thing with Banks is he needs to learn to finish. There's a lot of missed tackles.
There is. I mean, he's a disruptor. Like, again, but doubling down and getting Orange, like, I felt like that was the safety net, but it was also, you can use Banks more as like a Chris Jones, like an sort of an interior but exterior pass rusher, more as a D, like a true D end on like running downs. Like,
and that's who they comp him to, and that's who he wants to be like. Is Chris Jones. So
if I mean, he's the same. He's like the same size. So you got Orange, who's a guy in the middle, who's like Pat Williams, and then you've got Banks, who's like more like a Kevin Williams. Definitely not as talented as Kevin Williams, but it's the same like physical structure. They're kind of pairing them like they did in the past. So I mean, taking Orange, to me, really justified the Banks move.
Yeah, we talked about a little bit before how the night of the pick I was not happy, but by about Saturday night, Sunday morning, I was like, okay, it makes a little more sense. Passing on Thinneman and him going to the Bears really stung, but it made more sense a couple days in. I think a lot of us, I know for me for sure, I was 99.9% sure they were going to go D-back, and to go with a guy who I felt we could have gotten, traded back a few spots and gotten, really frustrated me. But at the same time, his potential is off the charts. So I settled down a little bit after a couple days.
See,
Yeah, I mean, I was at the Purple Daily draft party, and I was actually talking to Thor Nystrom about that because I was talking to Thor. I'm like, and I asked him, like, did you have the same feeling as me? It's like you saw all those trades in the bottom of the first round. Like, could the Vikings have been a part of any of those trades just to move back? Like, let's say like 2 spots with Philly and gotten maybe like a 5th round pick or a 4th round pick in return to move down 2 spots, and still got Banks, but got them for a little bit cheaper, and you pick up another pick. Like, that was more my question than anything else.
Yes, yes. Because I think if you go off a couple of the trade charts, it would have been very similar as what they did with Dallas as far as points go. If we would have did that trade with Philly, I think it would have been a little bit more in their favor, but it would have been an all right deal. So they got what? They traded back 3 spots and got a 3rd. I forget what they got.
We could have gotten a 3rd. We could have gotten a 3rd.
Okay, then we wouldn't have had.
Considering who we picked in the 3rd, like, we've had bad 3rd rounds before. I still remember the Wyatt Davis, Chaz Surratt 3rd round a couple of years ago. That was a very unmemorable 3rd round. This one with Tiernan and with Orange, like, that was a hell of a 3rd round. And,
yeah.
And the safety for Miami, like, that looks a lot better than the one.
I love the safety for Miami.
Yeah, no, I like it too.
This draft,
Jacoby Thomas, I want to say. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like this draft had this did have a little bit of Quasey's fingerprints, but this was mostly Flores's draft.
Oh,
and
dude, one of my friends on Facebook created a meme. It's a picture of Flores, right? And he said, "Fuck it, this is my draft."
it felt like it. It really felt like it. Yes.
I now I can understand why he got Banks, because I have a feeling if Banks' blitz potential, once he is like actually healthy, is going to be uncapped. He's going to be dangerous, and this defense is going to be dangerous, and this is going to get back to the old school football.
Well,
I got a question. It's an offensive question. We're going to stop talking about defense for a second.
Side,
what about that running back we took, Claiborne?
I love that pick in late. I love that pick.
I do too. I just my biggest complaint about him is his weight fluctuates on all of the sheets you look at, from like 185 to like 195. And weight and strength is the easiest things for rookies to add in the NFL. So if he can get around 200, because if that 185 is anywhere close, I feel he's going to get beat up pretty bad. So I'm hoping it's on the heavier end, and he gets around that 200. I think he's going to be freaking dynamic.
Question for the panel: Is Bredesen going to be the replacement for T.J. Hawkinson?
No.
No, he's a replacement for Ham.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about him retiring.
He reminds me more of a Jimmy Kleinsasser.
Yeah, he's Kleinsasser. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when they picked him. I was like, Kleinsasser, or even like if you're a back in the day guy, Rick Fenny.
Yep.
Kind of like Rick Fenny back in the day.
Yep.
So
I think they comped him to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He's a fullback tight end. I really think he's Ham, and I actually agree with the Kleinsasser. And on top of that, if we keep McCarthy, he went to Michigan, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at his house when he got drafted.
So maybe there's going to be a connection there. There's chemistry there. You know what I'm saying?
I think his comp was to, I think he's with the Giants now, but the former fullback from the Ravens, that Ricard.
Yep.
I think that was one of his comps.
It's like 300 pounds, so.
Yeah.
Ricard's like 300 pounds. This guy's in 300. He's more of a tight end.
I think he's like 250, isn't he? 255, something like that.
Ricard? No, he's
No,
closer to three.
No, the guy we drafted.
Bredesen. Yeah, I
Yep.
think he's like 245, 250, give or take. But he
can
solid.
block
Like,
and he can. And we
he's a
utilize
great
the
blocker.
fullback position, so we're one of the only teams that utilizes it.
Well, and if you think about it,
Aaron Jones are going to need to.
we brought in Frank Smith, who's a run game. I mean, he was in Miami with, HN and all that. So, I think we're going to go more run to set up the pass than, late. I think the last few years it's been more like pass to set up the run. And I really think we're going to go back to the old school of running the ball to set up the pass. And I think it's going to be phenomenal, especially if we can find a wide receiver 3.
Now, what's the word on
definitely need a
Jawan
wide
Jennings?
receiver
Is there any buzz on Jawan Jennings? It seemed like he was in that camp, but is he not going to be there, or what's the deal?
He came in for 2 days and he left.
I think it's a length term. I think the Vikings wanted 1 year and he wanted multiple years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're working on. Hopefully, they're working on that deal. If not,
I mean,
No,
I
we
have
need
the
a 1 year
perfect
guy.
wide receiver from former second round pick, lighten up the UFL, Hakeem Nicks. Bring him in.
really, Steve Nick. I haven't heard
He's
that
still
name in a
playing?
while.
Yeah, he's still playing. Holy shit!
He is lighting up the UFL. Yeah, lighten it
Well,
up.
he should.
I like to see
That was
Nook or maybe Reek or something.
I'll tell you a guy in the UFL I'd like to see the Vikings bring in is Chris Rowland. He plays for Orlando. He's just a little wide receiver, like 5'9", but he is like a Swiss Army knife. He is fun to watch.
So like
I
a
can't
Devontae
remember. I can't
Turpin.
recall how you would know about that guy, Mr. Gurecki. Orlando.
Well, we need to find our GM first, or settle on a GM.
Yeah.
I think it's Brzezinski. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I hear Rob doesn't want the job.
No,
Yeah,
he wants
yeah.
the job.
He wants to retire soon.
So the draft, all about the good stories. There was one guy, he was supposed to go into the first round. He dropped out of the first round. He was eventually picked up by Houston. I don't know if you guys heard this story. His first call, other than to his family and whatever, after he got drafted, was to his childhood best friend. And just to see that, he didn't forget where he came from, and remembering his childhood friend, that really warms the heart. That shows that football is about family. And I'm really looking forward to this season. Is everyone looking forward to this season?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Kyler Murray is going to be an interesting. That's going to be the X factor. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you really don't know. I mean, for $1.5 million, it's a terrific value. Like, that's an amazing value. And
But remember, we're not paying you a salary.
Deal.
Yeah, we
No,
are
I know, I'm
1.3
saying we're
million.
paying
I think it's 1.3.
$1.5 million is all we're paying,
1.3.
but
Something like that.
So it's a worthy
what's 200,000 or
risk.
300,000 at that point, right?
Exactly.
it's kind of like paying $20 for something that costs $200
$10,000. Yeah.
or $10,000. You know?
Oh, God damn it, Luca.
So let me ask this: of the whole first round, other than the Banks, was anybody surprised by a pick?
Ty
I think
Simpson.
there's a pick that really
Ty
shocked
Simpson.
you.
Ty
Ty
Simpson.
Simpson.
Yeah,
Ty Simpson. Not even.
I'm going to go a different route because this was my guy in the draft, and I had him in the second round. Was Chris Johnson from San Diego State? Miami took him, cornerback.
How late did Miami pick him? Was that in the 20s?
It was like 28, 29, something like that.
Oh,
Chris Johnson was a good corner. I had late first, early second grade on him.
Yeah. Yep, I had mid-second on him.
Chris Johnson was somebody I was looking at the Vikings taking in the second round. So, yeah, But I mean, at the end of the first round, that's kind of in that area of you got guys that may fall. He was one of those. He could be a first rounder, but probably he'll be a high second rounder. Like he was in that. That's a feel thing more than anything.
I really thought that was a great, like, I don't want to say reach, but a great grab. I think the potential he showed not only as a corner, but on special teams as a gunner was phenomenal.
I have
that was the big reason why I like
also-
Peter Woods too. I think Kansas City getting Peter Woods that late, to me that was a steal.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Oh, the
To
Jets.
me,
Oh, wide
to
receiver.
the I think the Jets had the best first couple rounds of the draft outside of the person who had the number 1 pick.
I think the Jets had a fantastic draft, but I did read a couple of the guys saying that Kenyon Sadiq does not fit their style of offense. I'm just like, man, he's a big slot receiver. He can fit in wherever he needs to be. But yeah, there was a lot of the experts saying he was a bad fit for that team, and I'm like, dude, he just changes the aspect of the team. He's not a bad fit either way. So I don't know. I think that was a good deal. I don't think he was on our board as far as a potential if he would have been there at 18. I think we were going to go Banks regardless.
I think we were going to go tight end. I think we were going to go him or Banks.
So, but I have seen a few of the way too early mock drafts that has us taking the Oregon tight end that's replacing him.
I haven't even seen film on that guy.
I haven't either, but if we take an Oregon player, should it be Coy?
Hey, what about their QB?
Yes, that's another interesting fact. QB draft.
Bring Coy Parrish home.
Yep. So, but no, I think overall the draft, the kid from Northwestern, he played left tackle there. Right? They said his arms are pretty short, but he's a beast. And I think they're looking at him as a future replacement for O'Neal.
Oh yeah,
I
most
can see
definitely.
that, but I actually like Rouse as the replacement for.
I do too, but they don't talk. This is I've complained about this before. Is throughout a whole season, you want to know where these four guys that are third, fourth on the depth chart and practice squad. You I really would like to hear more about how they're doing, but you never hear anything because they don't want to give it away. They don't want other teams to take them off the practice squad. But it'd be really nice to hear how like Rouse is doing in practice, and McLaughlin, and these guys that we don't get to see every day. It would be nice to know because, man, we had a lot of hopes that Nudie would play more this last year, and we really didn't see him. So is something going on with Rouse or Nudie? I don't know. So it's crazy.
I like that. I like the game he played. Like, I don't think a lot of people give him credit for that game. For that,
Yeah.
what was it? His fourth quarter. Like, he didn't let anybody by him. It was Fry's fault for the one guy who got by him.
Do you think Fries is a cut candidate?
No.
No.
No, I think
Not for 4 years in the pay.
I think, yeah, I'd have to look at the dead cap hit on him. So I think next year we don't have any guaranteed money with him. So and now we have a ton of money next year already with the Grenard trade. So, I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. One I hadn't thought of. I like that. But who do you plug in that place?
I like Fries at right guard. I think our guards are
put
set.
Brandel in there. I'd like to see Brandel. I'd like to see maybe even Rouse. I mean, you talked about Rouse a minute ago. I mean, Rouse is a big dude. Like, maybe put some play in there on him, and there you can see. I mean, sometimes guys don't, or even Tiernan. Like, maybe you can move some of these guys. You've got more flexibility, That's the whole part of when you draft people and you draft people relatively high, you can create competition. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I see Brandel tagged as the number one center right now, so I don't see moving him to guard. But unless Jurgens, they had such
I
high hopes
can
for
see
Jurgens
Tierman.
last year.
I can see Tierman as the right guard. If we get rid of Fries, I can see Tierman. Because
Yes.
Tierman's one flaw is he's big, but he has short arms.
Yep.
But could play guard.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's my thing. Like, I mean, if you watch Tiernan's tape at Northwestern, he was a monster. Like that guy knocked everybody over. So just because he doesn't have long arms doesn't mean that he doesn't have a purpose or a fit. Like
Exactly.
you bring guys into that talent. Like that's why like even Rouse, you could put Rouse on the interior. I mean, even if it's just developing depth. Like if one thing about last year proved anything, we didn't have depth on the offensive line. If I hear the name School one more time, I'm going to throw up in my mouth because that guy was awful.
School.
Like, he was terrible. And Eric, you saw him at Tampa just like I did. That guy was terrible.
But what's funny is Tampa was mad when we signed him last year, and I hate the fact we didn't call on Dalton Reisner. I think he fit this team.
Yeah.
That was one thing that just ate at me, and he was probably
but
one or two on that Cincinnati O line.
Well, Quinn Miners is another guy I wish the Vikings would have drafted, but I mean that was just I like having big interior linemen, so I don't know. That's when we've been good.
So, draft is over. Now, what is next for us as the Vikings is the GM search. We know Rob Brzezinski is going to be a candidate. Others, we don't know. We might have hunches, but the Vikings did release a statement pretty much saying that they've engaged in a firm that's going to help assist in conducting the search, but they are not going to publicly announce the candidates and pretty much will say it's complete when it's complete. So we're not going to say, we're not going to get the thing, we've finished an interview with this person for our GM position. We're not going to get that this year.
I want Ed Dobbs out of Indy.
You want Dobbs?
Or the guy the Eagles just released or just resigned.
The Eagles guy is who I want. The Eagles guy is the one I want. That's who I want. Anybody that's been in Howie Roseman's room, that's who I want.
Yeah, there's one of the guys from Seattle I think they were talking to, and I even heard they were talking to Patton, the guy who left for Denver. I heard he was a rumor to come back too. I mean, that's a reach, I think.
Yeah.
Ed Dobbs is somebody who I've heard we are actually talking to.
I would keep Mike Tomlin in mind too. I mean, they may be kind of holding back a little bit on that, but I think
Tomlin
they're tired of not having a football guy. I think they're tired of not having a football guy in the room, and Tomlin's a football guy. I wouldn't rule that out.
A former player for the Vikings just came out and said Brzezinski's more of a football guy than you think. I cannot remember who said it.
There is one guy who I think I'd like to have. John McKay from the Rams.
Yeah, no, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
He's in heaven over there. He's got like complete and total control. He's going to get banged. If anybody offers him a deal, the Rams will probably double it. I mean, he's worked some magic over there. For the fact that they had no first rounders for how many years and they still made it to the Super Bowl, still like always competitive. They were in the NFC Championship game, and I mean they've had one first round pick I think in the last 5 years, and that was Jared Verse, and he won Rookie of the Year, defensive Rookie of the Year, whatever it was. So I mean, I would love to have them, but that's a. If I was a betting man, I would put a couple bucks on it because the odds are not going to be there.
They're also saying Alec Hallaby from Philly.
Yeah, that's the guy.
That's the guy who
left the
resigned.
position, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who resigned.
Yep.
I'd be in on him. I'd be fine with that. Again, Howie Roseman's done such good things with that team. Like you have to learn something from that. So
Keep Robbie B as our money man and bring in somebody who can actually build a team.
And we brought in that money guy from Seattle, and I think someone mentioned it a little bit ago. Rob's looking to retire, and I think that's why they brought him in.
He is. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been with the team for 26 years?
Yeah.
1999. Red McCombs was still the owner of the Vikings when Rob Brzezinski was with the team.
Red fucking McCombs.
Fuck Red McCombs.
Yeah,
So
fuck him.
this
He traded our
guy
best
has been
receiver.
there through so many reincarnations of this team. He's just stressed and like, you know what? I'm good. Just get me out of here. Hire me and Garecki.
I will throw my name in a heartbeat. I will put my name in that in a heartbeat. Don't even.
We've got this.
Go GMs.
You can be our head scout.
Go GMs.
I'm the closest one to Egan, so if anything, it's going to be me.
Hell, I'll move.
Wait a minute, I'm closer to Egan than you are.
Well, me and Garecki
I'm in
will
Burnsville, right on the Egan border, dude.
We'll get a little condo right by TCO Performance Center. We get a little condo.
I'm 5 miles from the Egan border, so I'm actually within 15 minutes of the facility.
I can walk to the place, to the TCO, dude.
What do you mean? Are you you're in Burnsville?
Your room in
I'm
Rosemont.
off
I'll stay with
Cliff
my
Road.
sister.
I worked at the Quick Trip in Egan.
Because there's
I
one going to be
actually
built
worked
there.
at Lone Oak Market, which is literally the closest gas station to TCO.
What market? Which one?
Listen,
It's now called Farmers Grant. I forget the freaking new name of it, but it's you know where the Sam's Club is in Egan?
Mm-hmm.
No clue.
You go down 35.
Yes, I know where it is.
Exit.
I know where it is. I know where the Sam's Club in Egan is.
Yeah, I worked at the Shell gas station. I don't know if it's still a Shell gas station.
No, it's not.
But I worked at that gas station
All right, so they're also saying
for 3 years. I'm the closest to them. Burnsville is closer than Rosemont to Egan.
John
hey, nobody needs to Kirk Cousins gas, okay? Nobody needs that.
Yeah, you would hire Kirk Cousins back.
Hell no,
I would not. Hell no. Just
So
because
let him teach Fernando Mendoza how to fail.
How about I know the perfect nickname for this candidate if they're going to be a candidate for GM. George Patton. Let's just call him the General.
That's He was the assistant GM under Spielman, and then went to Denver.
Yep. Ed Dodds out of Indy. Andy Weidel from Pittsburgh. Ryan Cowden from New England. Trent Kirshner, Seattle, and Matt Berry, Seattle.
Matt Berry, that name sounds familiar for some reason.
It does.
Seattle interests me.
Fantasy football, Matt Berry.
Oh, yep, that's probably what.
New England interests me because of titles. But New England scares me because you look at all their coaches that fail.
Well, as long as Diana Rossini's isn't in the room, then they're okay. Like, just keep her away. That's the key.
So there was speculation that 2 New England coaches and Sean McVay were on her list.
I heard
What?
KOC was too.
Oh no, she hates him. She doesn't. No, maybe that's what it is. It's a cover-up.
No wonder she hates him. I wonder.
Yeah, but yeah, I heard Sean McVay and then an assistant coach for New England and Vrabel were all on her hit list.
Why though?
She's an awful reporter.
Gal. She's a good-looking gal.
She's good looking, but she's an awful reporter.
Yes.
Wait a
She's
minute,
some
is this
terrible
the same
takes,
girl
really
that
awful
was
takes.
holding hands with Vrabel?
Yep.
Yeah, in a pool.
I got the
And here-
pool bar, I think. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing too. She got fired, and she'll probably end up getting divorced. He's going to counseling, won't lose his job, and his wife probably won't leave him. And if he did get fired, he'd be hired within 6 months at a new position,
Maybe
with a new team.
Maybe her and Christy Nome can start a podcast on how to screw up your career.
There you go.
Oh. I'm not going to talk about it on live. I'll probably talk about it later, maybe, or also in the chat about Nome. If you catch my drift on what I was about to say.
She got demoted to Nome, Alaska.
Yep.
No, her husband.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, I know.
But they're also speculating Terrence Gray from Buffalo, James Lightfoot from Houston, Mike Bradway from KC, and Jeff Ireland from New Orleans.
KC?
Jeff
Interesting.
Ireland's kind of an interesting one. Not that because my last name is Ireland.
I was wondering where I heard that last name before.
You've heard that last name
Ireland?
before, Mr. Gorecki.
Where's Ireland from? I forgot.
He's from London.
No. Where is Ireland, the GM candidate
I
from?
think Miami.
No,
I think
New
it's
Orleans?
Miami.
He was with
Wasn't
Miami.
Wasn't he with Miami though? Yeah.
He was. I think he just said he was with New Orleans, but I think he was Miami before that. Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Neither interests me. Look at those teams, dude. I want a winner.
I don't know. You look at New Orleans came away pretty good with a second round quarterback that's looking pretty decent.
Yeah, Shuck surprised me. Like people, I mean, my buddy's a Saints fan.
Not
but
really.
Like,
He didn't surprise me.
He went from being a first rounder at Texas Tech to going to Oregon was it from Oregon to Texas Tech and kind of just fell off the face of the earth when he transferred. I mean, I think it was when he was at Oregon with first round. Like 2 years ago, they were talking to him coming out in the first round.
Well, didn't he end up at Louisville though? Wasn't that the last place that ended?
Maybe that's why, because he was at 3 schools. Because I know he was at Oregon and Texas Tech. So I think he went Texas Tech, Oregon, Louisville.
Okay.
That may be the route. I'd have to look at it again, but
I think that's what it
remember doing a
was.
mock draft.
I remember him being drafted out of Louisville.
I did a mock draft 2 years ago, and it was Texas Tech. And he was number 3 quarterback on the list. Maybe it was 3 years ago.
Have you done your 2027 mock draft yet on the simulator yet, Eric? I know I've been doing it. So
3. I've done 3 so far.
We've been mocked at number 14.
I haven't.
We've been mocked at number 14.
12. I've seen 12 too.
12? Okay. 12? Okay.
Yeah. Which we're going to be right at 18, 19 again. Fuck.
Well, I'll tell you what. Detroit's going to regress. I mean, can Chicago play a first place schedule? I mean, I think we're going to be in the mix for the division. Like, if you think about it. Now, we weren't a good team last year. Think about it.
Every time Chicago plays the first place schedule, they fail.
Yes. If we stop Devin Duvernay on that return, We're a
we're in the
playoff
play.
team.
Yeah.
We're a playoff team. We might be the division champ. So that's how close it was, even though we were really not a good team and we were very dysfunctional. That's how close we were to still being a playoff team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we were right there. So I mean, it was one kick return and probably 2 plays in the Steelers game.
Yeah.
And
From
we would have it
11
wrapped
wins.
up. Yeah.
Now if we would have had Aaron Rodgers, it might have been 12 wins. But I know I'm probably the only one in the panel that wanted Aaron Rodgers, so I'm okay with that. But even if it was just for a year, I don't care.
I was going to comment something on that.
I don't want Rodgers out of it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There was something I was going to say. Now I forgot. Shit.
Aaron Rodgers.
It was before that. I don't know. It'll come to me as soon as we're off the air.
Yeah,
Of course
that's
it
usually
will.
when the best thoughts happen. That's when the best thoughts happen, of course.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. He's too big of a distraction.
Yes.
Every
Well,
offseason.
this year or last year? This year or last year?
Last year, I think he would. This year, you haven't heard nothing from him. So
Is he on the
I
team?
mean, I wanted him last year, and he wanted. The thing that bothers me is that he wanted to go there. He wanted to go to. He would have signed for $5 million. We would have had Aaron Rodgers for $5 million. You could have let McCarthy fully heal from whatever injury he had, and you learn from Rodgers. It's not like you're learning from Kirk Cousins. It's not like you're learning from Sam Darnold. I mean, nobody knew what Sam Darnold was going to be. Nobody knew what he was going to be.
Right.
So that's why I was saying, like, we don't. And the bigger thing with Aaron Rodgers at this point in his age too, you know what the runway is. He's not going to be asking for a 5-year extension. You know you're only going to have him for a year. And in McCarthy's mind, you're going to be like, listen, JJ, we love you. You are our future. You're young. We're going to have the old man play for a year because we've got a lot of veterans on the team and we want to be a playoff team. Watch how he does it. Like, that would have been to me. And more importantly, the fact that the draft was in Green Bay last year, how funny would it have been if Schefter would have broken into a story right as the draft was starting, saying, breaking news, Aaron Rodgers has signed with the Minnesota Vikings in the middle of the draft.
that would have been pretty good. That would have been good.
How sick would that have been? I'm just putting it out there. But,
Booze galore.
oh, no. Booze, but very nervous booze at that. Because I've talked to some of those Packers boys on the other podcast. I talk to those. I try and get on the show every now and then, and I'm like, how nervous would you have been if you would have had Aaron Rodgers playing his Vikings? And I had Rob and A-Dub, and they're like, oh yeah, we wouldn't have been happy about that. Even Dorn of all people is like, I don't know about that. So.
But at the same time, I look at where Aaron Rodgers is now in his career.
Well, if you look at where he plays in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's offense is dysfunctional.
You're talking about DK Metcalf.
But they're dysfunctional. Like, they didn't even look like a work. And I think DK Metcalf, quite honestly, is overrated. For a guy that gets paid as much as he does, he doesn't do nearly enough to me to be warranted as a top 5 wide receiver. He gets top 5 money, but he doesn't do top 5 production. He's not a top 5 producer.
The same thing with TJ Hawkinson, in my opinion, with us.
Oh, Hawkinson was a way overpay. I hated the fact that we signed him such a high deal.
Yep.
Like,
I think a lot of that had to do that's twofold. I think coming off the injury, he didn't trust the knee. And I think the quarterback play was not there last year too. And you think most teams use their tight end as a safety net. We were not doing that. You know.
I think Josh Oliver is criminally underused. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Yep.
He's criminally underused.
I agree with you on that. Josh Oliver is better than TJ, in my opinion.
I don't know as a receiving tight end he's better than TJ, but it doesn't mean that. I mean, they
No,
literally
I'm
when
saying
they
as a tight
when
end,
they justify him,
period.
they just use him as a blocking tight end. Like whenever you hear Josh Oliver, all you hear is he's a great blocking tight end. Like
but
he's
here's the
better than
funny
just
thing.
blocking tight end.
When he was drafted out of San Jose State as a receiving tight end. He became a good blocking tight end when he got to Baltimore. So it's something to do with Baltimore's system because they just lost likely. You know.
That was Baltimore. But at the same time, he was drafted from Jacksonville, and he was actually rated in Jacksonville as a good blocking tight end. When he came out of college,
who's that?
He was one of the most athletic tight ends in college. The only knock on him was his blocking.
Who was this, Oliver or Likely?
Oliver. Likely is the one that would actually be the receiving guy. I had him.
If you looked at the year that they had Andrews, Oliver, and Likely, they were the 3 of the top 5 blocking tight ends in the NFL that year.
Right.
And something in that organization turns them tight ends into good blockers. I don't know what it is.
People forget about Darren Waller was also on the Baltimore Ravens before too, and he had the drinking issue. But Waller was also a tight end at the same time for Baltimore too.
Damn, I did not remember that.
Yep, he was.
I don't remember that either.
He was. The Baltimore Ravens cut him because he had a substance abuse issue.
Oh shit.
So yeah, he was in that room as well. So you think about that room. You got Likely, you got Oliver, you got Waller, and you got Mark Andrews. I mean, that's a hell of a time. And Patrick Ricard. And the fullback, Patrick Ricard. Like, you got that room. It's like, wow. But I think what I love about the biggest thing that I took away from this Vikings draft, they finally, and I've been begging for it, finally addressed the interior of the offensive, defensive line and got depth on all of them. Like that to me, this has been 4 years in the making. Like when I went to those Purple Draley draft parties, I got laughed out of the building when I said we should have taken Devondre Sweat a couple of years ago. I said we should have taken Dayon Walker last year. I said we should have taken Jordan Davis when we picked Lewis Seen. Like where would the Vikings defense be with 2 of those guys right now?
Yeah.
Where would they be?
And that whole Lewis Seen thing was just that that Georgia defense was so talented that I think it made him look phenomenal. And when he did make plays, he was a hard hitter and made good plays, but people were avoiding everybody else on the defense, so they had to go to him.
Yep.
And yeah, if we would have got Jordan Davis in that draft, we would be Kwesi would probably still have a job. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he would. He would. A comparison I also give with the Georgia defense, a comparison that I make is remember back in the early 2000s with the Miami Hurricanes? Remember guys like Jerome McDougal and Philip Buchanan and some of these guys that got taken in the first round for Miami? These guys were first-round picks because they were playing with Vince Wilfork and DJ Williams and Ed Reed and Antrell Roll. Like, they had so many amazing defensive players that made you look good, but did it necessarily mean that you were that good?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
What I compare the Georgia thing to.
And that's what they're saying about that second defensive end that got drafted from Miami in the first round. That Bain made him look good.
He did, yes, he did. 100%. Tampa got a steal in him. Tampa got a steal in Bain that late. That was crazy. I was thinking if he was, that would have been a real dilemma if the Vikings would have had Bain on the board at 18. That would have been that would have been a dilemma. Thank God it didn't happen that way. And same thing with Sadiq, although I did not want Sadiq at all. I did not want him at all. Like,
no, and the way the draft turned out, I don't think he was above, probably wasn't above Banks on our board.
Doesn't sound like it. But I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad that some guys got picked so that the decision didn't have to be made.
Colin, it doesn't sound like it to me either. Like I thought that Sharik was our pick if he was there.
Well, it seemed like every national team had us taking Thieneman. Like
Yeah,
it was like a
everybody did.
90% rate on Thieneman. Everybody thought we were taking Thieneman.
Yeah, I did. I really thought that was going to be the pick. I really.
I
Even
was
if
surprised
Hitman, even if Hitman came back, that's a perfect person to mentor him. And I just, man, I think that's why I was so upset when we took Banks, is because I thought that was going to be the perfect guy to fit this team. And after settling down, like I said, it made more sense to me. But it was such a shock because Banks just kept falling on all the big boards because of the injuries, and he was, late first, early second, mid second, and going into the season he was top 10, top 15. And it was just like he kept dropping and dropping and dropping. I'm just like, oh shit,
The broken foot at the combine is what killed him.
I think so. Well, because you look at the corner from Tennessee,
McCoy.
He fell
Yeah,
a
he
lot.
fell in the fourth round. I was
Yeah.
stunned that he fell so far.
So the difference between those two is they both missed the majority of last season. But Banks came back for the final game for Miami and played in the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl, one of the two, and did the combine. Well, McCoy didn't do any of that off-season stuff. It made Banks look like he at least gave a shit. And I think that was a big difference between being injured and being drafted in the first round and being injured and falling to the fourth round when you were a top 20 projection.
Well, back in the day, Kyle Hamilton got picked by the Ravens, and he was on crutches at the draft. People forget that.
We passed on
him. He
him.
was on crutches. Yeah, that's another. Well, here's a better question. If you had to look back and do it over, would you have taken Kyle Hamilton or Jordan Davis?
Hamilton.
Davis.
No.
You're taking Hamilton?
I think because Harry stayed around so long, Davis would have been the pick.
I think Davis would have been. I think Hamilton's would have been it would have been a great mentorship with Harrison and Hamilton. But God, Jordan Davis. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I think if Harry would have been like contemplating retirement in a year or two at that point, I think Hamilton's the perfect pick because you have two Golden Domers, one training the other, and they're both phenomenal athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The fact that Harry hung around, I say Davis. That's an easy one there for me. But a lot of shit had to play out. Like I said, Hitman hanging around a lot longer.
I'm still hurt that we took Gladney over Antoine Winfield. I'm never going to get over that one. I will never get over that.
I really liked Gladney. I really, really did. But I was also a huge Dantzler fan too. So my strong point isn't corners. My strong point isn't corners.
Winfield and Harrison Smith together, though. Oh God.
And the legacy.
Oh.
So we are running out of time. We just want to thank you guys for appearing. Colin, it's good to see you again. Don't be a stranger.
I work on Saturday, so you got to bear with me. We were slow today, so I got
So until next week, we will see everybody later. And glad the draft is.
Let's go Wild. Let's go Wolves. Let's go.
Bring your ass, San Antonio.
Bring it, San Antonio.
I know, Jay, I know you're watching, so bring your ass. So until next time, skull.
Keep on skulling.
Let's go.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.